is rising. Only 2 cars left in the pit lane before we have a full grid. Take a look up to the lights, then we'll see the countdown coming on. Look at the countdown. 5 seconds. Season 3, race 1 is under starter's orders. Lights down, EERC is go, go, go. A good start from Richard. Canada tries to keep the inside line down towards Bell. Look at Mike Bell. Going to go right round the outside. In towards Cox Corner. A spectacular move. Oh, big rest. And that's really awful. Into the bollard then. But Hamilton swings it round the outside line. He's got back to the start as well. Oh, no. And the starter under chaos in the middle of the field. Cars left by the center. And it takes second.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Zandvoort in Holland for the second round of Season 5 of the EERC British Touring Car Championship. My name is Edward Hunter. Alongside me in the commentary box is our safety car driver, Nick Homewood, of course, who competed last time out at Silverstone, and on camera and broadcast direction is, of course, Pascal Eggert. So here we are then. And as we go into the second round of the championship, it is Jack Nicholls that leads the standings, having brilliantly won the opening round of the season and in somewhat controversial circumstances, been retroactively given the win for race 3 at Silverstone, with Noah Tuomela triumphing in race 2. So Jack Nicholls leads on 53 points, which means he gets 75 kilograms of ballast. Provided he is able to show up, of course, which he is. Noah Tuomela is second on 40 points, 13 in arrears, so he will get 66 kilograms of ballast. Then Luca Filin for KV86, and the teammate of Noah Tuomela, he's on 34 points. He will get 57 kilograms of ballast. Luke Mitchell in fourth on 33 points, just a point behind Luca Filin, teammate to Jack Nicholls at King's Racing. He has got 48 kilograms of ballast to lug around the Zandvoort circuit, especially around the high-speed banking. It's certainly going to make an impact. Scott Mitchell-Malm, Luke Mitchell's brother, will be sixth on 27 points with 39 kilograms. Balaz Kiss, also on 27 points, but because he scored those 27 points after Scott Mitchell-Malm to equal that total, that means he's only got 33 kilograms of ballast. Oliver Hargitay, the first of the Hunter Barrett simulation drivers, is 7th on 26 points. He's got 27 kilograms. Then finally, we've got Adam Zux, a point behind. He's got 21 kilograms of ballast. Peter Schoenemann, the winner on track of race 3, but not the actual winner at Silverstone, on 22 points. He's got 15 kilograms. And then finally, rounding out the top 10 is Mark Horvath, who is not Dutch. He is Hungarian, as Pascal very correctly pointed out, and I immediately ignored him in the broadcast at Silverstone. He's on 19 points, and he's got 9 kilograms of ballast. Everyone else has got a clean sheet of paper, 0 kilograms to lug around.
Well, actually, loads of new drivers have got 75 kilos. Sorry.
Oh, that's true, of course. So I imagine Luca Gray's probably got 75 kilograms.
I got Luca Gray, Stanislas Peugeot, Tim Neuendorf, Gabor Vijk, Pony Makovoven, Slavev, I don't know what his first name is, Basinski, and Newhouse, because he swapped cars.
Ah, of course. So basically everyone apart from Oliver in my team is absolutely going to be tanked down the straights.
I think at the minute all but about 4 cars are running ballast.
At least different degrees of ballast. If we look at the rookie monsters, the number 93. So let me remind myself who this is. Is this Bradley Sellers?
Yeah, that's Sellers.
There we go. Yeah, good guess. I remember Bradley was here last time, and he was the only rookie monsters. And it seems that's the case. In fact, I was just watching, just before this started, as we go into the final 2 minutes of qualifying, the GPVWC Racer Champions qualifiers, in which Bradley Sellers' rookie monsters teammate Daniel Scott filled in at the last minute and got knocked out by the Super League champion Jan Grankvist. So, yes, at the moment, Bradley Sellers has the fastest first sector, but he is only 4th at the minute, although at the moment it's a Simcoe 1-2, somewhat surprisingly. Balaz Kiss and Adam Zux topping the table, with Adam Zux just going up to second, 67 thousandths behind his teammate, and then it's Luke Mitchell in third, the first of the King's cars, ahead of Bradley Sellers. Noah Tuomela, winner in race 2 last time out, is 5th, ahead of Tim Neuendorf for Pot Racer. Francisco Pires, championship leader Jack Nicholls is 8th, Mark Horvath is 9th, and Alan Axon for Unlimited Esports is 11th. Alan Axon, of course, had actually some solid drives, didn't he? Was a little bit unlucky to get into some contact at Silverstone, but the man who shares the name of a very, very obscure Bionicle character from the
mid-2000s. I would never have known that reference.
There was a big Titan set that had a big axe, and he was called Axon, and he was one of the few good guys and one of the edgier phases of Bionicle, where like the villains were all based on like they tried to make these villains that were like gangster rap pirates, effectively. And it was an interesting time, let's put it that way, as we go into the final 40 seconds. What can Alan Axon do? He gets up to 7th position there, so 140.8 2/10 behind Tim Neuendorf then. So Axon, the rookie, really impressing here. And in fact, he is, I think, like you say, one of the 4 drivers that doesn't have any ballast because he's not in the top 10 in the championship.
Alan Axon, of course, Unlimited Esports, and that's the esports team of the real life Unlimited Motorsports in BTCC.
So he is, of course, just a independent driver. As Neuendorf gets the pot racer up to 4th then. So a lot of track evolution late on in this session. Sadly, all the Hunter Birch drivers down in 16th, 17th, and 18th at the moment in the 142s. So as the session comes to a close, can our championship leader get himself up the grid? He's 10th at the moment. He remains 10th. So that is not ideal for Jack Nichols, who had such a good run at Silverstone, got onto the front row of the grid, and that was really what cemented that really, really strong weekend for him, or day, I guess.
75 kilos definitely going to hurt around here, though.
Anyway, as we look at Schooneman, as Ballast Kiss is going even quicker on his 139.9. Do the Simcoes, I swear Kiss has got 33 kilograms of ballast. And then Adam Zux has got 21. Yep. So, yeah, they have done pretty well. I think they maybe just practiced a lot here, and it's really starting to pay off as Axon is completing his final run.
It'll be in for a bit of fireworks, I think, if the last race is anything to go with between Kings and Simcoe.
Yeah, Simcoe, the Hungarian sim racing team. As we look at Luke Mitchell going purple in the middle sector, actually, interestingly, a 10th quicker than Kiss at the moment. 10th slower in the first sector, so this could be very, very close for Luke Mitchell as he tries to get on to the front row. But here comes Ballast Kiss. He's going to get there first. And the Simcoe Power Source line, can the 43 lower the bar even more? It goes from a 39.9 to a 39.7. There we go. Fantastic final sector from Ballast Kiss. Can Luke Mitchell match it? You're almost 2/10 behind then. That's good enough to displace Adam Zux. As here comes Noah Toyomela. Desperately needs a good lap here. Gets up to 4th on the grid then. That's really, really good news for our reigning teams champions, KV86 Powerhouse. Black and purple squad from Croatia up with one of their cars at least into the top 4, although sadly no sign of Luca Filen, his teammate.
He should be joining, I've been told, soon.
Is he trying to do GPV Race of Champions at the moment?
I think so, yes. I think so.
Oh, guys, trying to fit it in at the same time. Ockenau basically gave up on my team. He said, I want to focus on Rock. And I said, fair enough. I'll just get Sam Newhouse in the car again. But anyway. So, confirmation then. Balaz Kiss takes his first pole position in EERC British Touring. I'm pretty sure that's his first. With Luke Mitchell on the front row alongside him. Of course, Luke Mitchell with 48 kilograms of ballast. So he's done the best with the most ballast, I think it's fair to say. Adam Zux third to make it 2 Simcoes in the top 3, just ahead of Noah Tuomela. And it's Tim Neuendorf, very impressive from the pot racer driver that was a little bit anonymous at Silverstone. A real return to form for Tim. And then Bradley Sellers gets the rookie monsters into the top 6. Alan Axon, the rookie privateer driver, in 7th, with Oliver Hargitay doing a late effort to get into the top 8. Francisco Perez will start 9th, then Mark Horvath will round out the top 10. Jack Nichols there, displaced because of that late effort from Hargitay. That means he will start 11th. Not good news for the championship leader, who only has that 13-point margin over Noah Tuomela. Peter Schooneman will start 12th. With his teammate Stanislas Bajoud backing it, well, not in his actual teammate, but the sister Finn Yvonne Green right behind him. Tony McCoffervan in the second of the Rookie Monsters starts 14th. Luca Gray in his first appearance of the season with 75 kilograms of ballast will start 15th. Peter Neuendorf is going to line up 16th for Pot Racer. Then Thomas Raschke for the Ducking Fast Racing team will start 17th. Sam Newhouse, or Newhouse Samuel, as he's listed here, will start in 18th. Then Donny Belafonte will be 19th. And it will be Simon Brzezinski for the Dalamar Auto Racing team, rounding out the top 20. And then, of course, that is the grid, because Nick Homewood, of course, is going to be driving the safety car.
Yeah, I don't get to go on the grid, unfortunately. The safety car is actually faster than the BTCC cars in this mod.
Yeah, interesting what the Porsche 911 with the turbo engine in there has certainly got a little bit more power, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the easiest to drive, so we do need someone pro like yourself, Nick, or it was Chris Tompkins the last time out,
And he
wasn't it?
managed to roll it on a practice lap, so no pressure, eh?
Certainly wasn't the only one to roll his car though. In his
No,
defense,
that's true.
So what can we expect here from Zandvoort? Obviously, a little bit tight, a little bit twisty, but some high-speed sections here. So it's going to be tricky to overtake here. If you're Kiss, you got to say you're looking in a good position here.
I think the important thing here is tyre delta. There's a massive gap between the soft tyre and the medium and the hards because it's such a long circuit. You need to pick that right moment to use your soft tyres. There's also a non-zero risk of rain. So if it does rain, then you need to be in the right place at the right time with that. You don't want to save your soft tyres till race 3 and then it rains because then you lose them and you don't get the benefit of that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's also a bigger delta between the faster cars and the slower cars. So the field will get a bit more spread out than Silverstone, where it was all very close and frantic.
Yeah, slightly smaller figure than Silverstone as well, wasn't it? It was 25, 26 cars? No, 27, wasn't it? At Silverstone, we've got 7 cars less. Including, I think Mancuso was probably the most controversial one. I think he got disqualified, and did he get banned in the end for some of the incidents?
Yeah, a few drivers did get a race ban already. They're not racing this season anymore.
Well, I guess that's that then. But it was nice to have him. While it lasts, as Oliver Hargitay lifts the front right wheel into turn number 8 and 9. So I think I'm trying to look up the corner names. So we have the first corner, Tarzan Bocht, named. It's not named after Tarzan, the Disney character. It's actually named after because when John Hugenholtz was designing the track, there's an infamous story that might be sort of somewhat apocryphal, where there was a guy who owned the garden, because there used to be houses there by the seaside, and they had to knock down the garden to build that first corner hairpin. And he demanded that they name it, I think it was either after him or after his dog that was called Tarzan. So that's the story there.
I think that's fair.
Gerlach Bocht is turn 2, and then we have the Bocht being corner, of course. Hugenholtz Bocht is obviously John Hugenholtz. That's the turn 3 banked sort of hairpin. Then there's a sort of very long flat out section, turn 4, Unzureg. Turn 5 doesn't have a name because it's just a left-hand kink, as we see Hargitay going off track. And getting it all wrong there. Slotmaker Bocht, which is turn 6. And then turn 7, the next actual corner, which is where we go start sector 2, which is called Shivalak. And that's obviously where you see a lot of accidents at high speed, because it's quite a dramatic right-hander there at full speed, where you sort of just lift a bit off the throttle and go down a gear in an F1 car, but I think it might actually be a breaking point in a touring car.
I think it almost definitely is, yeah.
And we've got Masters Bocht and turn 9, so Masters Bocht being turn 8. Turn 10 is that left-hander that goes onto the sort of back straight. And then we go into sector 3, which is the little chicane, the Hans Ernst turn, named after Hans Ernst, of course. Turn 13, the penultimate corner, the Kumo Bocht, named after Kumo, the tyre manufacturer. And then legendary Dutch driver Arie Luijendijk is what the banked turn 14, the final corner on the track, is named after. So there you go, that's your brief history of Zandvoort. In fact, here comes Bradley Sellers through Kumo Bocht and Arie Luijendijk turn.
We have now got Thailand as well.
Oh, that's good to see. So 21 on the grid then. Luca Thailand, of course, will be starting from the very, very back. And there's going to be the big overtake. Surely it's going to be people setting each other up on the banking going into turn 1, or potentially a couple of late moves at the inside into 3 as well.
I think the whole... I don't know. Ooh, someone goes off. You come around that big bank curve. Is that turn 4? After that, it's going to be single file. But then you've got some really heavy braking zones, like where Peugeot's going through now. That's going to be your chance.
Yeah, braking distance is a lot bigger. As you see Thomas Raschke in his special Christmas-themed livery, I'm assuming. Bending it in the wall.
Yep,
so,
shiny.
Yeah, previously he did the livery that was his... what was it? It was his... the van, the heating van that he drove away. Yep. Here's like a picture of it, the Nürburgring Nordschleife as well. But anyway, the server ticking over then, and surely this is going to come down to Kiss versus Mitchell, with maybe Adam Zux and Tuo Miller getting involved as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't write off any of, well, I'd say the top 5 all look in pretty good shape. We'll just have to see.
Yep, and let's see who's going for the soft tyres. At the moment, it looks like it might be Luke Mitchell in second, Bradley Sellers in sixth, and then everyone down to Delafronte, Basinski, yourself, Nick, of course, in the safety car.
I don't get a choice.
You have to, yeah. So the safety car can only go out for so long before the softs start to degrade. Of course, you will have to set up the safety car for Zandvoort to an extent, I guess.
It drives so badly, it doesn't make any difference. I'm using a controller, I'm not using a steering wheel.
Okay, well. Yeah, we're going pro here, people. Looks like Luke Mitchell might have changed his mind, but it depends on R Factor T because it shows him switching to mediums as the lights come on. Then race 1 about to get underway. Kiss on the right, Luke Mitchell on the left. And what the Hunter Birches, I think that's Hargitay, sort of a little bit out of position there on the starting grid, but they all get away, and it's a beautiful getaway for Adam Zux, who goes right up to second ahead of Luke Mitchell. And now Tuomela is trying to go all the way around the outside of Luke Mitchell, but the corner does not let him do that as, oh dear, one the Finnevons and Luca Gray coming to grief. I think that's Pajot and Gray that have hit each other at turn 1 there, but the Simcoes both lead, and big slide for Adam Zux there, and that could allow Luke Mitchell to have a go at him, but Bradley Sellers has started on the softs and is all over the back of Noah Tuomela. There's a crazy fight for 6th with Neuendorf holding off Axon, Hargitay, Horvath, Perez, and Schoenemann. Jack Nichols has fallen down to 12th. Horrible start for Jack Nichols, and now Thomas Raschke picks him off as well.
Yeah, I saw Nichols at a bit of a sideways moment coming through turn 3. I don't know if he jumped or if he was pushed, so to speak, but yeah, his car was all over the place.
Bradley Sellers attacking Noah Tuomela, of course. So rookie monsters who are not looking particularly strong in either championship. It must be said, up the inside through 10 comes Bradley Sellers. But of course, rookie monsters 8th in the standings, and Sellers is down in 11th. So he's the only driver really that's got no ballast in this fight, but he's trying to go around the outside into turn 11, and Noah Tuomela just lifts off the brakes, goes deep into the corner. And Bradley Sellers, even on the faster tyre, finds himself stuck behind, and he's going to have to get creative here to get one over on the Finn.
Yep, Tuomela, of course, suffering from lag in Silverstone. He hopes he's fixed it, but if not, then he'll have to get disqualified this time. So he'd better hope that doesn't happen again.
And look in the background, Hargitay fighting with Horvath to hold on to that 8th position. It's the 2 Hungarians. Will Horvath break later around the outside? Hargitay's got the inside, but he goes a little bit deep. The rear starts to complain on that Honda Civic, and the Ford is going up the inside, but Horvath has to back out there. So some good, clean racing between the two. But yeah, Bradley Sellers is got to be the big danger man here. And Tuomela, as you say, there was that lag couple of weeks ago at Silverstone, but there was also that really unfortunate incident, wasn't there, where as we see a big moment there. I think this must be on Pascal's end, because Luke Mitchell looks like he's just drifting through every corner here as we go and watch him here, but yeah, of course, Noah Tuomela did lose quite a lot of positions in race 3, didn't he? With that penalty for overtaking his teammate Phelan off track.
It was a bit of a phantom penalty, but the actual penalty was for a cut track, which was converted to a 25-second post-race penalty.
And that dropped him well outside the top 10, didn't it? So it
did, yeah.
Certainly has created this 13-point gap that Jack Nichols currently enjoys in the championship. Jack Nichols has gotten back past Thomas Raschke into 11th, but the big gainer has been Luca Phelan from the very back of the grid on mediums. He is up to 13th then, as we also see is that Peter Schoenemann has him and Nichols have both gotten by Mark Horvath, so Horvath has had a really bad lap here.
I wonder if he made a mistake. Just see if I can watch that back on my head.
And here comes Bradley Sellers up the inside. Sorry to cut across you, Nick, as Kiss sets the fastest lap, but the Rookie Monsters has got the inside going into Tarzan corner. And again, Noah Tuomela goes as late as he can on the brakes, and he just cannot get the thing turned in on this front-wheel drive Toyota there. They're all front-wheel drive cars, of course, but Bradley Sellers making good use of his softs. He's finally through into 4th position and now free to chase down Luke Mitchell and the 2 Simcoes of Kiss and Zook looks, but Kiss looking very, very comfortable. 1.2 second gap to his teammate, who's starting to back up. Luke Mitchell here is Phylan trying to go around the outside of Francisco Perez as they go through the snake section. And oh no, big crash. He taps Perez round. And that's disaster for Francisco Perez.
Yeah. Let's gloss over that one.
Let's pretend that did not happen, if to save Luca Phylan's blushes, if nothing else, but and our own, because that was not what anybody wanted to see, really. But of course, that promotes a bunch of drivers. Sam Newhouse is up to 14th position then. And you see just behind Newhouse is Pajode McCoffervan trying to go around the outside of Pajode. And then Luca Gray recovering from his excursion with Pajode in the gravel as well. So the two Hunter Birches working together well here. But Luca Gray is the point-scoring one. Unfortunately, he's behind Sam Newhouse, who is not the point-scoring Hunter Birch then. So Sam Newhouse, I don't think in the voice chat with Luca Gray either, so this is an odd position for Sam to be in, but certainly he's enjoying this first race so far.
And all of these cars have 75 kilos.
Yep. So a big train at the back of very, very heavy cars. As you can just see Phylan trying to escape up the road ahead of him, and I think Phylan doesn't have any ballast because he not only did he not do qualifying, but oh no, he does have ballast because he was third in the championship, isn't he?
57.
Here comes Schoenemann. Schoenemann, of course, 15 kilograms of ballast on his car. Oliver Hargitay's got 27 kilograms, and there's Jack Nichols with the full 75, trying to keep up as best he can. Remember, the ballast will, of course, reset for race 2, depending on the finishing order there, but you can see how much quicker Peter Schumann is just in a straight line here, but there's no way through down the snake section here, through, of course, Hunsering, Slotmakerbocht, and into Shivalak.
Ooh, Hargitay got a bit unstable on the curb, though.
Yeah.
Not as unstable as Peter, though.
Well, Peter is the master of instability. Jack Nichols struggles not to hit the back of him as well. So he is clearly not enjoying having to lug around all those 75 kilograms of ballast.
We're going to get an overlap.
Oh, here comes Schoenemann. He needs to make a clean maneuver, but he's going to be having to go from the outside here into the Han Ernst Bock chicane. And is Oliver Hargitay going to run him out wide? There's going to be a little gap here. Peter Schumann inserts himself into it now. Hargitay's got the inside for Kumo Bocht. Is Peter Schumann going to break late and aggressively round the outside? Oh, he's not able to. So some good positioning from Hargitay. This is allowing Jack Nichols to get involved here. And this is really important for the championship leader.
Yep, it's not really that risk, though, is it? These two are fighting quite hard. He needs to make sure that if he's going to get through, he gets through cleanly.
Fastest lap for Bradley Sellers on the softs, chasing down Luke Mitchell for the final slot on the podium. Schoenemann, bangs doors with Oliver Hargitay then, and Hargitay shows him the door, quite literally there, as we see Sam Newhouse is out. So big incident for Sam Newhouse. Big corner cut there for Jack Nichols into turn 2. Through 3 they go, and Schoenemann is struggling not to hit the back of Oliver Hargitay then. So fantastic fight, and Hargitay holding on to 8th by the skin of his teeth here, and look behind, Horvath is starting to catch them as well.
I'm not sure what happened to Newhouse there. Looks like he just pulled off. Maybe a Simrig failure or something.
We'll have to see if he chimes in a bit later. Big spin. He's had a spin at the Hans Ernst Boxer corner. He's hit McCoffervan, I think. So obviously we've joined the replay a little bit too late. Sam skips the corner. Oh! No! That looked a little bit like Newhouse was trying to get some revenge there, and he missed, thankfully.
Yeah, that's... okay.
Might have to tell him off for that one, but clearly he feels quite aggrieved at Tony McCoffervan.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, starting to regret putting him in the car. Is that Hargitay going really wide as Neuendorf squabbles with Alan Axon here. So Axon has actually done very, very well to keep Neuendorf at bay. Is Axon one of the few that's got no ballast at all here as we go into the final 5 laps of the race?
Yeah, and Neuendorf with the full 75.
Here we go. Peter Schoenemann going for the outside again on Hargitay, who's not really put a foot wrong in this battle so far, really far along the outside, and surely Hargitay is going to struggle. He still gets a little bit of overlap. Peter Schumann getting very aggressive, turning from the outside. Oh, how did they both keep pointing in a straight line there? And lights being shown from Oliver Hargitay to Peter Schumann to show he was not impressed in the least there with the amount of contact that Schumann put on him.
It was a bit of a squeeze.
Meanwhile, Bradley Sellers still tucked in right behind Luke Mitchell, who himself is still right behind Adam Zux, and I think Luke is really going to be kicking himself after losing that place to the Simcoe driver at the start.
Yeah, he can't get through now, can he? He's heavier. They're in the same car, so there's no difference there. And now he's got Sellers right behind him on the soft tyres.
Yep, so Bradley Sellers, with the race coming to its end, he needs to hope that he hasn't chewed through the soft tyres too quickly. He's been lapping 3/10 quicker than Mitchell, who of course is stuck behind Zux in the 141.4s, whereas Sellers in the 141.2s. So Sellers is not only getting a double slipstream, but the tyres still look in decent nick here. So there's every chance Bradley Sellers, if he gets a good run, could get onto the podium here. But the problem is the fact that they're so close together means he can't just pick Luke Mitchell off on his own, which will probably be slightly easier for him.
Yeah, I wonder if Zux is playing a bit of a team game.
Oh, and look at this. Jack Nichols now fancying a run on Oliver Hargitay, the championship leader, getting up into 9th position. Can Hargitay do anything from the outside here as Jack Nichols controls the racing line there? And that was a good positioning, but Hargitay positions himself to the inside to try and counterattack into turn 2, but he's surely not got the overlap, but he's late on the brakes there. Oh, he seems to have learnt a little bit from Peter Schumann and gone, oh, this is how we're racing now, clean around the outside, and he gets back through on Jack Nichols there. That was some real elbows out driving from Oliver Hargitay. This is McCoffervan fighting away with Luca Gray.
Yep, the 75-kilo gang at the back.
Yeah, you can tell Luca Gray's not really had too much fun on his return here with the ballast rules, but of course he was going to do Silverstone, and then the day of the race he had a wheel failure, which he just logged into R-Factor and the wheel would not respond to any inputs at all, so that basically put paid to that. Spent the whole day trying to fix it, couldn't fix it, and we had to get Magnus Hockenhagen. But anyway, Bradley Sellers still struggling to find inroads, and it's so crucial for Zux and Mitchell not to make any mistakes. Mitchell is actually setting personal bests, tucked in right behind Bradley Sellers. We also see Turo Mellor is starting to fall with his, how many kilograms is it? It's 66 kilograms of ballast into the clutches of the ballastless Alan Axon and Tim Neuendorf, of course, who's also got the full ballast. So
yeah, it's quite jumbled up, isn't it, Rennie?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's going to be interesting to see if race 2 is any different, because we can see not many went for the softs in race 1. Only Bradley Sellers and Brzezinski, of course. And here comes, Hargitay's fighting back then against Schoenemann. Has Schoenemann chewed through his medium tyres a little bit too quickly, being so aggressive early in the race against Hargitay. Now Hargitay and Nichols fancy some revenge here.
Might be about to see some fireworks. That Sellers alongside Mitchell.
Really good run from Bradley Sellers out of the Hugenholtz hairpin, and he goes clean around the outside. That was very, very tricky to do, and Luke Mitchell was very compliant there. He knew the jig was up. He just did not have anything left to fight against the soft tire shod rookie monsters of Bradley Sellers then. So Sellers up to 3rd. Can he pass Adam Zux for 2nd? And they're only 1.2 seconds behind Kiss as well, as we see Nichols make a big error through turn 7 there.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting any overtakes there, but didn't end in tears, I'll be honest. But
here's McCoffervan. He's seen his teammate make a move here, and now he wants to emulate it on the Hunter Birch of Luca Gray. And Luca Gray, this is the hardest he's ever really had to fight to finish in 17th position, I would wager. And we know Luca Gray, pole sitter in the previous season, capable of better results. But here are the two Finavants of Pajard and Perez, the two Ps, squabbling away for 14th position, and it looks like Perez has held on there from Pajard.
Yep.
So
Not
of course,
biased. Nice
it's
colours.
white versus green for Innovon, so they are free to race. There's no team orders that's going to come into play here. McCofferven tries to go around the outside of Luca Gray. Luca Gray lifts a wheel as he goes deep into the Ari Lundijk, chicane. Ari Lundijk is the final corner, of course. You always try to remember the corner by the most famous driver that it's named after, and you tend to get my Hans Erst and my Ari Lundijk mixed up here. Just glad there isn't a Verstappen corner as well. I've named after the two Max and Josh.
I'm sure there will be eventually. I wonder which corner it'll be.
There'll certainly be a grandstand named after them. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, named after one of them. I'm not so sure about the other one.
Yeah, the Jos Verstappen wife beater grandstand. Anyway, I'm sure everyone in Holland loves Jos just as much as Max. Certainly Max, after being left in a petrol station and forced to walk home after a bad karting race in his youth. I'm sure that's a fond memory for everyone concerned. But look at Bradley Sellers then, trying to make some fond memories as he attacks Adam Zux a little bit as he cuts right to the inside through turn 10. It cuts a little bit of the grass, so he's using all of the track and a little bit more. This has been really aggressive from Bradley, and he's certainly not the positive of using the softs in race 1 here is that he could end up giving himself a really, really good grid position on the mediums for race 2, even if everyone around him switches to the softs.
Yeah, you really got to take some pain. You'll have ballast as well.
Well, that is very true. And you see Luke Mitchell, I think, very much playing the long game here as Bradley Sellers tucks in behind Adam Zux. They're going onto the final lap now, and Ballas Kiss has really controlled things from the front. And you have to say, the two Simcoes have worked incredibly well here, and they could get the 1-2 that they came very, very close, actually, to getting at Silverstone before there was the King Simcoe catastrophe really going into Chapel Corner as they go deep into the banking to get the best run out. And you can see, even with heavier ballast, these front runners are just really strong through that corner. It looks like Thomas Raschke has hit trouble because he's dropped behind Luca Filin. Filin gets himself up into 12th position.
I wouldn't write off Sellers just yet. He's right there.
Yeah, he's running out of opportunities here, though. As you look at Kiss, he knows Adam Zux has just really been protecting him in this race. So Adam Zux, you have to say, made a brilliant start and has really held Mitchell and Sellers, two top draw touring car drivers, at bay very, very convincingly. So great job from the Hungarian.
Yep, definitely. New manufacturer to win, or new team to win.
Yeah, certainly. So that would be 4 different winners in the first 4 races, which would be quite an achievement. Then, as Bradley Sellers into the Han Ernst-Bocht chicane, turn 12. And now coming towards the last 2 corners, it's going to have to come down to a run to the line then. But Ballas Kiss, he sees a first win of the season for Simcoe, a win that could very well launch Simcoe straight into the heart of what is a wide open title fight then. To the line he comes. It's victory for Ballas Kiss and a first victory for Simcoe. The number 43 crew absolutely delighted. And Adam Zux holds on to make it a 1-2 as Bradley Sellers' charge comes just that little bit too late. But Sellers nonetheless gets a brilliant podium on his soft tyres. Luke Mitchell takes 4th. Noah Tuomela takes 5th ahead of Alan Axon, Tim Neuendorf. Peter Schumann is 8th. Hargitay is 9th. Jack Nichols can only recover to 10th then, ahead of Mark Horvath, and Luca Filin 12th, just ahead of Thomas Raschke then. And then it's Pajot and Pires, who had a great fight themselves. And here's another good fight just behind Neuendorf. Luca Gray holding off Tony McCofferven for 17th position. McCofferven, who I usually mention whenever he blows up his engine, as it looks like he's turned the oven on this time, or some silly pun like that. But this time he actually had a very, very good race, it must be said, as Donny Bellafronte and Simon Brzezinski complete the finishing order. So here's the replay then. Looks like Pascal faded us to black there, very cinematic then. And this is the start from McCofferven. So we're about to see Gray and Pajot hit each other and go into the gravel then on the outside here. You see Raschke goes to the middle.
Oh, there we go.
They both just went a little bit too deep. Heavy fuel, heavy ballast, and the brakes did not respond in time. And then, we see one of the Kings going wide. That was Nichols having his moment into turn 2. And this is Neuendorf turning across the circuit quite dangerously there as we look at Simon Brzezinski. Oh, being collected there by Nurendorf. So I think Nurendorf a little bit unsighted there. And Brzezinski not being given anywhere to go. Big wheel lift there as Rashke threads the needle between the two Finavons. But unfortunately, that sends him immediately off track. So bold but foolish from Thomas Rashke there.
Yeah, it's probably not expecting to see a car doing a little wheelie in front of you.
Yeah, certainly. And this is defiling Perez contact. And Perez pirouetting very much against his will there. But nonetheless, Francisco did well actually to get back into the top 15 despite that.
Have to have a look at that one, I would imagine.
I'm not sure if Eiland's going to escape punishment. That's certainly going to be investigated, like you say. And this is the result of that. Brzezinski hitting the wall again as he desperately tries to avoid Francisco Perez recovering. And Nadalma auto racing. Oh, he's going to need to visit the Dalai Lama. Not after that, because Brzezinski is going to be feeling very annoyed as we see Rashke at the same corner. Oh, the rears just getting loose onto the curb. But actually a good save from Thomas. And that's why he ended up in 13th position there, but not enough to hold off Luca Filin, as there's what happened to Makofoven and Newhouse. And Makofoven lost it on the curb and sort of spun Newhouse around.
That wasn't really his fault. I want to see what's Newhouse going to do.
That was a
here?
racing incident. And then Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
pretty dim view on that.
Yeah, he got disqualified as well. There's Luca Gray tapping the back of one of the Finavons and then spending the rest of the race stuck behind the others. So there goes Peugeot, Perez, and Nurendorf getting through there. And there's Newhouse for good measure doing his little revenge move in the background.
Yeah.
So, not a good moment. Not a good 20 seconds of Underbird simulation there. And there's Brzezinski. Oh! Oh dear. Not a good race for him either. Definitely going to want to book that Dalai Lama visit as soon as possible. For Simon Brzezinski.
Well, that was action-packed.
Luca Graves just sent a message in the chat saying, "Can we switch back to the Ford, please?"
Bit late.
Yeah, well, you should have turned up for the first race, Luca, to be honest, but I know it wasn't your fault, but we're sort of stuck with what we're given now, aren't we? Ballas Kiss then makes it a 1-2 for Simcoe ahead of his teammate Adam Zooks. Bradley Sellers is third in our opening encounter as Zandvoort on the soft tyres. Luke Mitchell holds on to fourth. Then there's Noah Tuomela fifth ahead of Alan Axon, getting his best result ahead of Tim Nurendorf. Peter Schumann is eighth, beating Oliver Hargitay in a close battle. Then it's Jack Nichols, championship leader, rounding out the top 10, but he will be losing significant ground to Noah Tuomela there. And, of course, Ballas Kiss. Mark Horvath finishes 11th ahead of Lucas Filin, who got from the back of the grid to 12th. Thomas Rashke is 13th ahead of Stanislas Pajal. Then it's Francisco Perez ahead of Peter Nurendorf. Luca Gray struggles home to 17th ahead of Tony Makofoven and Donny Bellafronte. And Simon Brzezinski, after heavy damage to his car, still gets it home in 20th. Sadly, not finishing the race was Sam Newhouse after deliberately crashing out, it must be said.
I'm sure we'll find out where that was before long.
Yeah, just sent a message to Sam saying, please don't take out Tony deliberately.
I'm just going to set the ballast so I'll put myself on mute so I don't deafen everyone with my keyboard.
Fair enough. I thought my one was loud, but yeah, Nick sort of takes the cake on that front. So anyway, let's see if anyone is indeed watching, because I imagine most people are probably watching Caitlin Penny's commentary for GPVWC Race of Champions. 5 people watching, and Luke Mitchell says, Jack is driving in Scott's car on purpose. Just for your information, which is an interesting admission there. Shouldn't that be extra ballast then?
He's already leading the championship, so he would have had 75 kilos regardless.
Oh, okay, so it's just messing around. It's a misrule.
Yeah, well, yeah, we can't really give people more than 75 kilos.
But does that mean... Does that mean Luke Mitchell has taken on unnecessary ballast then in number 21 in Jack's car? No, they're both in the 21.
Luke's driving his own car. Jack's driving Scott's car, who is not here.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't matter. Right, okay. It does. Well, that's all sorted then. Let me just... So sadly, I don't think you're allowed to change cars mid-season unless you just re-enter the team entry from scratch, I guess.
Yeah,
Could make a
points.
No, we could make a Hunter Birch B team if Luke is really upset about the Civic, and just put him in a Ford. It's the Focus, isn't it? Yeah.
I think the thing is, though, the Ford is actually full. There's no more Ford spaces.
Well, this is what happens when you just miss the first race of the season and then decide too late.
He did have 75 kilos, though, so we can't really make a judgment immediately.
Luca tends to make up his mind about something quite early on, and then he has a tendency of sticking with it. But we'll see if maybe he's a bit more open-minded this time. But yeah, he knows what he likes, Luca Gray, and it doesn't seem to be the Honda Civic on the evidence of one pretty rubbish race with full ballast, where he admittedly went off at the first corner, and then he didn't do quite as badly as Sam Newhouse, but still, it wasn't exactly a crowning glory moment for Under Birch Simulation, but at least Hargitai finishing in the top 10. But yeah, we've won every odd-numbered season so far in EERC BTCC. I think that streak is probably not going to last, because with the greatest of respect, we've not really had a great start to the season.
I mean, you've still got 3 times the amount of wins of everyone else, so...
That's true, that's true.
Right, I'll be back in 1 second, sorry.
So then, as the warm-up continues, let's remind ourselves who has got the soft available, who has not got the soft available for race 2 then. So it'd be Bradley Sellers, and Simon Brzezinski. Although, given how much Brzezinski was struggling in that first race, I think softs or mediums, it's going to be a tricky one from near the back of the grid anyway.
The new drivers need to make sure they've familiarised themselves with the tyre rules, because we had that problem in Silverstone where drivers took the soft tyres too many times and ended up getting disqualified.
Yeah, I think there's another faux pas from Newhouse you're referring to there.
Yeah, Bellafronte as well.
Yeah, I did remind Sam about that. So, but I admittedly before the race I didn't say, "Oh, you're not allowed to take someone out try and take someone out in revenge."
That should go without saying.
Yeah, I think I might not ask him back next time, because, with all due respect, his pace is not the most impressive either, and his conduct has not really impressed me anymore.
I would imagine that after that manoeuvre, he probably won't be welcome back next time anyway.
Okay. Well, I guess we're stuck with him the rest of the event then, so we'll just have to put on a brave face. Well, that's weird. After one race, I've already turned against my own driver. It's a good thing he's not the point-scoring car, as I said earlier.
Right.
So then the grid should be Kiss, Zook, Sellers, Mitchell, Tuomela, Axon, Nuendorf, Schunemann, Archetai, Nichols, our top 10. So let's briefly do the maths in terms of the championship. Unless I'm very much mistaken, it was 22 points, I think, because he also got the lap leading point and the fastest lap, I think, Ballas Kiss.
Sellers got the fastest lap.
Oh, Sellers did, of course, on his softs, as we see race 2 is about to begin. So we'll work out the standings later, but between 5th and 10th, that's got to be how many points, isn't it? It's 6 points for 10th, and I think 5th
for first, with no bonus points.
I'm thinking 5th, so yeah, 6 and 11. So Tuomela's gained about 5 points out of that 13-point gap, hasn't he?
I think it's probably Mitchell who was the big winner on that one.
Yeah. We'll have to work it out after, because I can't remember off the top of my head what the actual point system is. But anyway, we're waiting for the grid to populate. And leading at the front once more will be Ballas Kiss, looking to make it 2 in a row. It looks like Kiss, Zook, Sellers, and Mitchell sticking with the medium tyre. Tuomela and Axon going for the softs, though. And Phylan as well, for that matter.
Tuomela, one to watch.
Could well be. Yeah, he was really struggling on nearly full ballast there, but the light's coming on as race 2 is about to get underway in the dunes at Zandvoort. And a penalty for Donny Bellafronte already. But it's a brilliant start once again for the two Simcoes. Bradley Sellers does not get a good launch off the line. And it's free wide into turn 1. Mitchell on the inside. Tuamela on the outside. And wide goes the rookie monsters of Bradley Sellers there. So that was a pretty disastrous start then for the rookie monsters. And he's still fighting away, this time with Axon, who's looking to the outside, looking to slice his way through into 5th position there as everyone gets through relatively cleanly into turn 3. And Axon is ahead then on the run down to turn 7 there.
Island and Hargatai high by side. Oh, sorry.
Oh, and Hargatai off track there. He rejoins just ahead of Jack Nichols as they go side by side into turn 7 then. But the two Simcoes leading Luke Mitchell, who is on the soft tyre along with Tuamela. No wonder they got such a good launch off the line. Axon as well on his soft.
Nichols in the wall, sorry.
Oh, and that's our championship leader in the wall. And oh, spinning round goes Luca Filin there. At turn 8 then, as Adam Zooks is under attack from Luke Mitchell. Mitchell using the soft tyres to go around the outside at 10, and this will give him the inside into turn 11 here. Luke Mitchell has got a great chance if he just gets the braking nailed. Will Adam Zooks push him from the outside, wheel lifting?
Whoa.
And oh, somehow Luke Mitchell's made it through there. That was a gutsy move.
Self-inflicted from Nichols, unfortunately. He hit the curb and his car took off.
Oh dear, Jack Nichols getting going again. Down in 19th then. So Basinski has retired from the race after jumping the... no, it wasn't him that jumped. It was Bellafronte that jumped the start, wasn't it? Basinski has hit some sort of issue on the first lap. But nonetheless, the order at the front. Kiss, 7/10 over Luke Mitchell on the softs. Then it's Zooks on the mediums. Tuamela on the softs. Axon on the softs. Bradley Sellers, Neuendorf and Schoenman 6th through to 8th on the mediums. And look at this. Tuamela already on the move as Adam Zooks. He was defending for pretty much all of race 2, wasn't he? And now he's got to do some more defending to hold on to that 3rd position, because Tuamela is going to be very, very feisty now on much less ballast than he had to deal with in race 1.
Yes, he is. Sorry, I was just looking up a bit further at the back because Nichols is trying to make his way forward again.
Yeah, he's picked off Perez, and now he's attacking Sam Newhouse, who's gone for the soft tyres. Oliver Hargitay in 9th is also on the softs, trying to fight away with Peter Schoenemann just behind this battle. You can just see them there. As Ballast Kiss is slowly being caught by, I say slowly, Luke Mitchell is rapidly catching up to the back of him here. 7/10 behind, and he set the fastest first sector of the race. Half a second quicker in the first sector alone then. So Luke Mitchell is absolutely flying. He picked off Adam Zooks. He got up the inside of Bradley Sellers at the first corner, and now he's only got one more car to overtake to get into the leaders. Horvath is going for Luca Gray here, but Luca Gray's got the inside as he wheel lifts into... Oh, the hand blocked. But here comes round the outside McCoffoven, him and Gray looking to continue their fight from race 1, and Horvath is shoved wide to the outside as his teammate Peugeot has a little nibble up the inside then as they go into the Arie Luyendyk banking. And here comes Luke Mitchell setting the fastest lap of the race, 1:40.8. That's in a half a second quicker. And he's going to have to go the long way around. Ballast Kiss positions himself well in a defensive mode into turn 2. Luke Mitchell will try and go around the outside, has to get earlier on the brakes then, and now dives up the inside into the hairpin. Can he make this one work? Ballast Kiss early on the front, and Luke Mitchell cuts across. It's Mitchell that takes the lead here in Zandvoort.
That was very close.
Very well judged, actually. Luke Mitchell had really good presence of mind to get not only see the opportunity up the inside, but to make sure, because you can go much wider and carry so much more speed around the outside, to make sure he didn't leave a gap for Ballast Kiss to take advantage of then. As we look at McCoffoven looking to turn the heat up on the back of Luca Gray, who is hoping to hold on to that 11th place as Tuamela goes around the outside of Adam Zooks. Zook's actually continuing to defend extremely well, and he's creating a train of cars here as he once more tries to protect Balaz Kiss from Tuomela, Axon, and potentially Hargatai on the softs as well. Up the inside comes Tuomela, though, into the chicane, and that leaves the door open. It didn't quite work there. He had to leave the space for Axon, and Axon is going to try and go round the outside then into the Kumo box.
There's a lot of cars and not very much track.
Yeah, there we go. And look at this. Here comes Bradley Sellers. He's getting involved in this again too, as Tuomela is more defending from Axon now than he is fighting with Zerks. As we see Mitchell continuing to build the gap to a second up front. Here comes Neuendorf up the inside of Bradley Sellers. It's 2 rows of 2 wide, and round goes Axon. He just about holds on to that one, but major contact between himself and Tuomela. And look at this, Hargatai is now getting involved. He's past Peter Schumann, and now he's having a go at Bradley Sellers round the outside. Oh, is there going to be enough space for them all to get through here? Round the outside goes Hargatai. That was a really good move there, and he set the fastest lap of the race as well, 1:40.7. Oliver's got some good pace here. Now he's picking off Axon as well. 2 moves in the space of 5 seconds there. That was really, he's not wasting any time, is Oliver.
He is definitely not. That was a ballsy move.
And Axon was on the soft as well. Look how far Oliver's getting over the curb. Fantastic driving there. He's putting it all on the line at the moment. After a tricky race 1, he is really making progress here. As here comes Peter Schumann. He wants to go at Bradley Sellers as well, but Sellers got the inside into turn 10. He is not going to leave the door open that easily then. As they get down to the hands, Ernst Bocht. And now Tim Neuendorf is still all over the back of Tuomela, who's now caught right up to Adam Zooks once more.
Oh, Sellers in the gravel. He got out of shape on braking.
There we go. And that's really going to hurt his exit there. But is there going to be enough chance for Schunemann to dive up the inside into the Kumo box? Of course, Peter's going to go for that one. And another mistake, actually, from Bradley Sellers leaves plenty of room there for Schunemann into Ari Lundijk. So Luke Mitchell sets another fastest lap of the race. Brilliant final sector there, 30.4. That's another half a second quicker than Balaskis. He's gained another second, 2 seconds to the good then as the 2 Finnevons go side by side. This is the 2 teammates, Peugeot and Horvath. And Horvath, you can tell he's got blue at the back, whereas Peugeot's got black at the back. That's how you tell the difference between them, the 2 orange cars then. And that looked like Horvath just trying to get out of the way there. And he's really holding up Jack Nichols there. Nichols on those soft tyres has set the purple middle sector on the previous lap. But he's not having much fun out there as Raschke goes side by side with McCoffoven. And McCoffoven has completed the move on Thomas Raschke through the snake section.
Nichols has got a lot of damage. It was a big impact.
That's really compromised our championship leader. And are we about to see Tuomela and Luke Mitchell start to really put themselves into this championship right to the fore, really, especially with Kiss and Zook scoring well as well. I think this is turning into a 5-way fight at the moment at the very top of the table.
Yeah, I just saw one of the Rookie Monsters cars off in the background. I think it was Sellers.
Yeah, Sellers down to 13th, but and who's that? That's Basinski, I think, just getting out of the way of the leaders there at the Han Ernst spot by just going off into the gravel. So, I mean, time was of the essence there. Look at this. Neuendorf is the only driver apart from Zooks and Kiss ahead of him. Doesn't have the soft tyres at his disposal here. So Hargatai could well be a threat then as we reach half distance in this race then.
The important thing for Nichols is that he's in 15th now, so he gets points and he's included in the reverse grid.
That's very, very true then. But Jack Nichols would surely love... he's 3 tenths now behind Peugeot then in the fight for 14th then. So that was why it was so crucial for the Finnevons to swap positions when they did, because Horvath clearly struggling. And you see Luca Gray now has actually done very well on the mediums to keep Phylan at bay as he fights right behind Thomas Raschke then. As Donny Bellafronte is going into the pits then, that might be just very belatedly serve that drive-through penalty he got for jumping the start.
I think he would have been done for that by now. He might have got a track limit or something I didn't see.
I think you're right. He's pitting 2 laps in a row, so there's something else going on.
Maybe he got pit lane speeding.
Oh, look at this. Tuomela up the inside of Zooks then into 7 and 8. And he's going to complete the move into turn 9 then, and Noah Tuomela has finally seen the opportunity open up, and now Neuendorf is trying to take advantage on his mediums. Tim Neuendorf has had a really, really good race here, hasn't he, on those mediums? He's really come out of nowhere after a very strong first race. Admittedly, he didn't have very much ballast at all, but with a little bit more ballast, he has shown it's not just the ballast that was helping him. He really knows this circuit well in that Toyota as he tries to keep Oliver Hargitay on the softs at bay, and Axon has also rejoined the battle here, as you see behind the Rashke Grey filing train, all having a great fight over the final position in the top 10. Axon setting personal best behind Hargitay, but Hargitay matching the lap times of Luke Mitchell then, despite being stuck behind Neuendorf.
Sellers is having an absolute nightmare. From third, he's now in 14th.
Yeah, he's only a second ahead of Nichols. Just look at this. Oh, Tim Neuendorf has a little think about a move up the inside into Tarzan. But Adam Zux defending as best he can. You can see Tuomela disappearing up the road and attacking his teammate here. So this is really bad for Simcoe. They needed to have both cars ahead of the KV86 of Tuomela. But luckily, in terms of the Teams Championship, KV86 have not been having too much luck either, with Filin sort of arriving late and sort of not being able to break into the top 10 at the present moment, even on the soft tyres, as Neuendorf slides the rear out as he desperately looks for a way to put pressure on Adam Zux here. So these two in a very, very similar position. Zux, of course, with a little bit more ballast from his podium in the first race. Look at this. Gray finally launches an assault on Thomas Rashke then into turn 9. And Rashke has to leave the space. They are in the same voice chat, these two. And Rashke has a cheeky little dive into turn 10 as he tries to come back on Luca Gray there. But Gray works his way into the top 10. And this is a fantastic little battle here. These two giving each other enough room and racing hard, cleanly, and fairly. And Rashke gets through. And sneakily, Filin also takes advantage to get past Rashke as well. So Rashke loses 2 places in his seasonal livery there.
There's a big train here forming behind Rashke.
Yeah, Rashke is hoping to be the snowman here, but he's kind of melting.
Yeah.
He's melting, yeah. There's a big snowman on the roof of that car. Look at this. Jack Nichols fights away with Tony McCoffervan. Down the straight they go as they fight over 14th place then. That's Bradley Sullers. Sorry, it is Bradley Sullers. And here comes Nichols. He's got the inside. Perez on the softs also fancies getting involved here too. As look at this, Filin up the inside of Luca Gray. Can Gray stick it out around the outside and get the inside for the hairpin? He's certainly trying to. Yes, he can. Very wide from Filin, but Filin gets a beautiful run. And you can see Luca Gray try to do what Mitchell did when he passed Kiss and Zux earlier on. And he couldn't quite do it. He couldn't quite get to the racing line quickly enough.
Some fantastic racing, though.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty narrow, high-speed track. They're doing well not to just take each other out in some of these battles as well. You can tell Luca Gray flashing his lights. He wasn't too impressed that Filin got through there. But, of course, Filin on the soft tyres has, in theory, a big, big advantage over Luca Gray.
I wonder if he thinks that he overtook him off the track, because he's quite high up the curb there, wasn't he?
Looked to me like he just kept at least 2 wheels on it, as we see Tuomela is starting to set personal bests now as he chases down Kiss for second. And his Hargitay still not quite able to find a way through on Neuendorf and Zux. And I think this is, again, the same trouble that Bradley Sullers had in race 1, where he was fighting with Mitchell and Zux at the same time, rather than just being able to pick off one of them. As we see Tuomela is really close to the back of Zux within half a second now. As we see a yellow in the first sector that clears very quickly.
I think that was Basinski.
Yeah, horrible race for Basinski as look behind Tuomela. Late move into the first corner. They bang wheels. And Tuomela really getting forceful there, but gets into second place. Kiss is surely not going to be able to break late enough on the outside into 2. And there we go. Alice Kiss down to third, but he does try and get to the inside here. But Tuomela carrying that a little bit too much speed, a little bit too much grip. And flashing lights from Ballas Kiss. He's doing the Luca Gray method of saying, you went too wide and went off track there over the curb. So we'll see if that sticks or not. But either way, on track, the Simcoe's down to third and fourth now. And Hargitay, really the only one that could maybe cause some trouble for them in these last 2 laps then is Bradley Sullers. Stuck down in 15th position, trying to pass Thomas Rashgaze. Nichols has gotten himself up to 13th. It's been a brilliant fight back, all things considered. As look at this, round the outside comes Oliver Hargitay, but no way through on Neuendorf, who himself is ducking and diving to find a way past Adam Zux for 4th.
Well, there was a bit of an incident going on, I just saw, between Rashka. He's dropped a load of positions.
Yeah, Sellers and Rashka, I think, coming into trouble there. And it looks like Sellers just about holding on to 15th from Horvath at the present moment there. So there may have been some contact. Look at McCoffoven on his soft. He's catching Peter Schoenemann for 8th in the background. As look how much risk they're all taking then towards the end of this one. Axon very close to the back of Hargitay, looking for revenge as he tries to get that yellow Unlimited Esports privateer entry right behind Hargitay. And look at this, Neuendorf trying to do what Tuomela did, trying to break really late into Tarzan, and Hargitay breaks really late behind them. Neuendorf side by side as they go through the first corner. Can the Simcoe be overcome by the pot racer? Tim Neuendorf has got the line here, but he will be on the outside for John Hugenholt. And turns in from the outside into the Simcoe of Adam Zux. And Zux are under attack from all angles here as Neuendorf nearly spins him around.
Yep, it's all getting last lap, isn't it? So do or die, basically.
Yeah,
Not that that's encouraged.
Luke Mitchell is 6.3 seconds then ahead of Tuomela, and he's still lapping about half a second quicker than them. This has been an absolutely exceptional drive from Luke Mitchell, the former Hunter Birch driver, it must be said, as Neuendorf wheel lifting over the curb into 7, and that creates the open door for Hargitay, who goes a little bit deep and finds himself into the gravel, and he's going to lose a few places there. That was opportunistic from Oliver, but there wasn't quite enough space there, and I think he just went a little bit too deep on the brakes there.
Yeah.
There we go, and he's come out. Is that Luca Gray still fending off Jack Nichols? But meanwhile, Nichols' teammate Luke Mitchell, this is going to put him very, very close, if not into the lead of the championship. Then he was, he of course, finished 4th in race 1. He's going to take the win here in race 2, though, on the dunes at Zandvoort here. And this has been a happy hunting ground in Holland so far for Luke Mitchell. That makes it our 5th different winner from 5 races so far this season. Tuomela finishes 2nd from Kiss. Zux, Axon gets up to 5th ahead of Neuendorf there in all of the confusion at the end. Schoenemann is 7th, Makofov 8th. Phelan passes Hargitay for 9th right at the end. And Hargitay then only 1 place ahead of his teammate Luca Gray. So, and big slide for one of the Finnevons there. Nichols does get home in 12th. So he limits the damage there. But let's have a look at the replay of some of the highlights there from race 2.
Oh, catch your breath.
Yeah, certainly a lot going on as we see a replay of the start. So you're going to see Bellafronte jumping at the back. I think he moved before the lights went out and then got on the brakes. So you just see him ducking all the way to the back of the grid then. And there's our free wide moment, and that was really what opened the race up for Luke Mitchell, wasn't it? Getting past both Tuomela and Bradley Sellers and into 3rd. That meant he just had to pick off the 2 Simcoes. And this is Axon around the outside. There's Buzinski. So he just retired at the first corner, it seems. He just didn't get far into the race at all. Yeah, he was the one that backed off. And there we go. Perez was into the gravel. Rejoined just ahead of Buzinski.
This will be Nichols, I think.
Yeah, Nichols. Big wheel lift into 7 as he goes over the curb and goes almost face plants it into the wall there. So Jack Nichols was trying to look for some space, and unfortunately he got some airspace instead. As there is one of the Hunter Birches spinning around Phelan. I think that might have been Hargitay there.
He did well to not lose too much. He obviously did still lose time, but not too much.
And this is the fate of Buzinski. It was turn 7 again. High speed Shivalak corner where he just made exactly the same mistake he made at the end of race 1. And his Bellafronte, he just goes too deep. And the Jumireo car just struggling as there is Bradley Sellers. There's how he lost a load of positions. He almost did exactly what Hargitay did, except he wasn't diving up the inside. He just went a little bit too wide on the curb and got stuck on it.
Belafonte doing the same thing again. He enjoyed it so much the first time.
And
Ooh,
rolls
yeah.
it over. So Belafonte treating us to some breakdancing, which we saw so much of at Silverstone. And this is the Hargett. He locks up there. That was the problem. If he had just been able to keep the wheels turning, he might have been able to make that one. And that is a classic rear wheel drive driver getting in a front wheel drive car move there, I have to say.
Optimistic, yeah.
And it looks like Sam Newhouse in 19th also made a mistake. It does say Gray on the side, but that's literally because we had to fill Luca Gray's car at the last minute, and we wanted a decent driver in the point scoring car. So there was good reasons why Gray is here, but he's not got his name on the 42. Anyway, Luke Mitchell taking his first win of the season from Noah Tuomela and Balaz Kiss to round out the podium. Adam Zooks places 4th position from Alan Axon, who gets one better than his best finish last time out in race 1. Tim Neuendorf in 6th ahead of Peter Schooneman. Tony McCofferven, we didn't talk much about him, but he was very, very solid in 8th position ahead of Luca Filin, and then Hargitai, that late mistake, dropping him from 5th to 10th. Luca Gray had to settle for 11th, but did hold off Jack Nichols, who recovered from heavy, heavy damage to finish 12th. Stanislas Pajard was 13th ahead of Thomas Raschke, and then Bradley Sutters rounded out the top 15 point scorers with Mark Horvath, Peter Neuendorf, Francisco Perez, and Sam Newhouse all missing out, along with Donny Belafonte, who crashed out, and of course, Basinski.
Oh, it's the best time of the day now. How much chaos?
The draw.
P7
position. So that's Schooneman.
Schooneman on pole.
Isn't he on pole last time for? No, it was one of the King's cars, wasn't it? It was. I'm pretty sure it was Nichols in the end who got.
Yeah, I think so.
Mitchell. They got a reverse grid pole at Silverstone and it ended up winning as well. So Schooneman with a great chance to make amends then and become. Well, actually, no. Because Nichols won twice at Silverstone, technically it's not 5 different winners. It's 4 different winners from 5 races so far, isn't it?
Yeah, on the track it's been 5 from 5.
Yeah. But yeah, Schumann would make it 5 from 6 overall. Kaikira says the Hondas have VTEC. This is unfair. I beg to differ because my drivers don't seem to make much use out of it, if there is.
Just gotta wait for a few people to rejoin. You got lost during the restart.
Okay, Sam Newhouse has responded to me telling him not to take out Tony McCoffervan. He said, "Sorry, but he did take me out of track and I wanted to go. I don't know why the car was go straight and not turn in the grass, lol." Probably because you kept the accelerator on, Sam. Right, so as the Hunter Birch simulation chat falls into despair, it's great news for Finnevond because Peter Schumann will start the final race today from pole position. No sign of rain as well, so a load of teams saved the softs for the final race, didn't they? Let's remind ourselves.
The weather is random, so there doesn't technically need to be a chance of rain. It can just happen.
So, if I'm not mistaken, the Simcoes have both saved their softs for the final race because they used mediums in race 1 and in race 2.
Risky strategy.
I think Neuendorf. Did Neuendorf use them in race 1? No, he didn't. Neuendorf has got a spare pair. Schooneman as well, I think, actually. Interestingly. Yeah, Schooneman was mediums race 1.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Certainly. I'm trying to remember if Gray has used his yet. I don't think so.
wouldn't have made sense to use him race 1. I don't think he used him race 2. So
Yeah, all that. Yeah. I was just thinking that Nicole's used his in race 2, which is gutting for him.
he got quite unlucky there. He needed a good reverse grid.
Exactly. But because it is so random, it can really. If it's like top 7, it's still quite mixed up. But if it's like top 15, it's completely mixed up.
Yeah,
It's the most it can be.
You need to sort of pray then, don't you?
Yeah, in Grand Prix Virtual Academy, the rule is they do a qualifying race and then they do a reverse grid sprint race, which is basically whoever finishes 15th starts on pole, and it's all top 15 reversed. So that often ends up being a crazy fight for 15th among some of the less experienced drivers.
Yeah. I remember season 1 we had the full grid reversal, and that was
Pandemonium, yes.
Yeah, that's a nice
Although we did win a few of those reverse grid races, I think.
Yeah,
There were some good ones, like Imola that year where we had the one that Schoenemann won against Mia Rose and was it Louis Hartley?
And I remember one, was it Autopolis, where Loic won all 3 races?
It was, yeah, when it rained, I think. That's a pretty crazy one. Right, then, so... Number 1,000, Nick. Does that not seem a bit excessive for the safety car?
It has to be a number that no one else was going to use.
All right. I mean, most safety car drivers just go with 0, but I guess maybe you could argue that was Damon Hill's number when he was in F1. So.
I got 3 zeros.
Is the 1,000 the horsepower that the 911 Turbo has at its disposal?
Yeah. We might, get it actually into the race this time, see what happens.
Well, we had a few crashes, but none quite bad enough to really. It's usually from multi-car pile-up, I think, is the intent, is the thinking, rather than somebody's flipped it at turn 7 by on their own.
If it's just a couple of cars involved and they either retire straight away or get going off their own steam, we're not going to call a safety car. If there's sort of a 20-car pile-up like we had at Imola, the race we had to abort because no one could get through the lap 1. Yeah. Instead of calling a red flag, we'll call the safety car so everyone can go through repair, and then they're still in the race.
Well, okay. In that case, all eyes on Bellafronte and Newhouse and other guy. Kaczynski, was it? Oh, is Kaczynski gone? Right.
He's not here anymore. I don't know if he means to be or not, but he's not.
Yeah, he did retire very, very early from that second race, didn't he? So
yeah,
that's a bit of a shame.
I'm just gonna mute myself to pipe out the ballast.
Cool. And Louis Hartley, I think, I'm pretty sure it's Hartley. It's just got in the chat and said, full grid reversal was great. This is from a man who obviously tended not to finish quite as high in race 2s sometimes as he would have liked. So yeah, he would love the full grid reversal. But anyway, good to see our previous champions still taking an interest, of course. So them being Mia Rose, Louis Hartley, Mike Bell, and Loic Moynier, of course. So we're almost certainly going to get a new champion this year.
Yeah, we haven't got any, have we?
Say again?
There's no previous champions racing.
No, I don't think so. I think they've all moved on to presumably better things where they actually get prize money for winning.
Nothing beats satisfaction.
Oh, that's true. Oh, big drift from the KV86 behind Luca Gray there. Who is that? That's not Tuo Mella just showing off here. Whoa! Deciding to flip over. Oh! Just really... It's Phylan, sorry. It's not Tuo Mella, it's Phylan. Of course it's Luca Phylan. He does that in GPV as well. For KKR Esports. Yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting round for the Teams Championship because Simcoe scoring really strongly so far. King's getting a win to their name. And KV86 getting second, of course, with Tuo Mella in that second race. But otherwise, they've really struggled, KV86.
Yeah. It's going to be really close, I think, because they both had good races and bad races. I think it will be Simcoe, you're right, and then probably Kings.
Yeah, so far at least, we'll have to see how this third race goes. We shouldn't rule out Finnevond either. Probably going to be, I think the way things are going, it's going to be a fight between the Finnevond teams and Hunter Birch for fourth.
Well, it's race reverse grid time, everyone.
Yeah,
Buckle up.
See if top 7 reverse then. So Peter Schooneman, he will be hoping to avenge his penalty from Silverstone.
Well, we wait to see what avenge means.
I think Peter Schumann's shown that he knows exactly what it means in the most physical way. But anyway,
hopefully everyone remembers to set their
Mr.
tires.
Hartley. So Hartley's one of the 7 people watching, I think, because it says 8 on screen, and one of them is definitely me. Yeah, right. I'm not nearly good enough to win something for prize money, says Louis Hartley. So that's a bit depressing for some of the rest of these drivers, because I could tell you drivers like Mia Rose, our previous champions like Mia Rose and Luke Mitchell have actually won stuff that has given them prize money, especially Mia Rose. She was doing like, was it Virtual Endurance Championship? It was one day at VLMS or something like that, where Mia Rose was like driving for the Queen's Esports and like winning against like some pretty
5 seconds.
But anyway, then. It's Peter Schooneman on pole from Neuendorf. Tim Neuendorf, his teammate Peter Neuendorf, and Mark Horvath. The lights go out for the final time today. And we are away, and it's not a great getaway for Schooneman. He pulls across to block the path of Tim Neuendorf. But up the inside here comes the Simcoe of Adam Zux that's made a brilliant getaway to get up to third position ahead of Axon into turn 2. They all swarm, and it's Schooneman holding off Tim Neuendorf. Then Peter Neuendorf is, I don't know why it's showing Peter Neuendorf. It's a little bit confused. He's actually down in 17th. I think I was looking at the grid order that's completely frozen on my end. There we go. So it is Schooneman, Neuendorf, Zux, Kiss, Axon. And all of our top 4 are on the soft tyres, by the way. Axon, Tuimela, Mitchell, Hargatai, Filin, all on the mediums, but Gray's on the softs. And he's just got past Filin for 8th.
Hargatai's had a crash. Sorry, I just saw it in the background.
Oh, dear. So it goes from bad to worse for Oliver Hargatais. Look at this, Tuimela under attack from Luke Mitchell, who forces his way through into turn 9. It's getting very, very physical. And now Luca Gray on the softs. He's passed one KV86. He fancies another as he goes round the outside at turn 10. And they all come together. And oh, how on earth has Luca Gray kept that one out of the wall? That was borderline dirty defending from Noah Tuimela, I have to be honest, and we're definitely penalising that. Oh, but they come together at the... Whoa. Oh, and round! Oh, dear, Filin spins Luca Gray around. Gray, is not avoided, and he's tagged into the wall there. Oh, dear, so KV86 did not really play fair there, and there goes any chance of a good end to the day for Hunter Bird Simulation, as, Rashke and Bradley Sellers go really wide at the final corner. Rashke just about avoids hitting the wall, and he might have some damage on the Ducking Fast racing car. There we
Ducking
go. Chaotic
now.
Yeah. Duck, yeah. But Peter Schooneman running away up front, sits the fastest lap, but Tim Neuendorf 2/10 behind. Then it's Adam Zux and Ballas Kiss, both on the softs. And Simcoe's strategy of saving the softs to the end as Neuendorf takes the lead. Oh, good run out of the Hugenholtz hairpin, and Tim Neuendorf takes the lead for Pot Racer. I don't think Pot Racer have won before.
They won. They did Alton Park.
Yeah, Alton Park. Sorry, they did win Alton Park. It was race 2 or 3, wasn't it? Alton Park.
Yeah, I think race 3, reverse grid.
So there we go. Tim Neuendorf hasn't won in a long, long while, and after a shaky start in Silverstone, starting to make up ground here as Jack Nichols is under attack from Pajoud on the soft tyres there. So Nichols struggling to hold on to the top 9, late on the brakes from Stanislas Pajoud, and the Finnevond Green 77 is up the inside into turn 10 as you see McCoffervan in turn trying to hold off Horvath on his soft tyres in the background. Nichols has got the inside for the chicane. All the way around the outside goes Pajoud, a little bit onto the dust and gravel And they're still side by side. Jack Nichols is not going to be muscled out the way without a fight here, as he wants to get back on song with Filin in front of him. And there we go. Nichols holding the position for now, but he's going to be really vulnerable. Trainer cars behind, and look at this. Adam Zux trying to make a move on Schoenemann for second here, as Neuendorf is starting to escape up the road. 141.4, fastest lap of the race. Zux, sees the opening at Tarzan. Schoenemann tries to turn from the outside. This could get very, very physical. We know he's not shy about barging into people, is Peter Schoenemann, if he can get away with it. But around the outside goes Zux. He's going to have to be bold to pull this one off, and he's trying to back Schoenemann into the path of his teammate Ballas Kiss here.
Yeah, Neuendorf's really made hay, isn't he?
He certainly has then. So unfortunately, Luca Gray, after being spun around and then collided into, still down in last position, 13 seconds behind Bellafronte. So it's really not gone well for him. Perez is out of the race, so we'll have to see what happened to him a bit later on, as we see Schoenemann now just really under attack here, and he's not been able to get these softs to work, has he? I think his natural pace has not been as good as Neuendorf or the two Simcoes.
Yeah, I think that's just what it is, isn't it? He can still get top 5 quite easily, but I think the other three just got the legs. There's Mitchell coming up quite quickly as well.
Yeah, Mitchell on the mediums, attacking Axon. The next, behind the top 4, the next soft tire runner as Kiss gives Schoenemann a little kiss, funnily enough, as they go into the final couple of corners. The next soft runner is Peugeot, who's still being held up behind Jack Nicole. So the problem for Peugeot and Horvath is they've got a train of about 5 medium runners all in a line fighting each other, essentially. Look at this, Schoenemann having to get really, really defensive. I think Adam Zux, now he's been released, he might have a chance to challenge Neuendorf here, but probably the fastest of the two Simcoes, as we saw in the first race, and the second as well, is Ballas Kiss. Let's look behind. Luke Mitchell really not finding a way through past Alan Axon. So Axon really putting his elbows out. He's consistently been in the top 6 all 3 races, hasn't he? He was 5th last time out, and he's still holding on to 5th at the present moment. But Mitchell, you can tell, has just got that little bit more pace. He's just not quite able to use it because it's a sort of stalemate, isn't it, with them both on the mediums?
It is. Mitchell's probably got the legs, but Axon,
There we go, a little bit deep from Sam Newhouse, and Bradley Sellers gets sent off with him into the gravel there. And yes, again, it was good defend up to that point from Sam Newhouse, but he made a big, big error there. And that, dare I say, is the last time we're going to see him in an Underboat Simulation car. As we look here, comes Kiss, trying to go around the outside of Schoenemann. Schumann's surely going to break really deep here, and indeed he does so. But Kiss has the presence of mind to stick to the outside. But again, that's a really tough corner to get the run out of, as Neuendorf is slowly being caught, I think, actually, by Adam Zux. The gap 1.4 seconds down to 1.1 seconds, actually. So a good final sector from Adam Zux here. And Adam Zux could well become our 5th different winner of the season here, as Ballas Kiss swarming all over the back of Schoenemann like an angry yellow bee here on the black and orange Finavond. And here comes Mitchell. Axon. Just cuts across him, and there's his teammate Nichols right in combat with the two KV86 powerhouses, and they are sandwiching him. Nichols through into 8th past Luca Filin, and he's trying to make it 2 moves in 1 here, Nick.
Yeah, we saw what happened with Gray with these two, so he needs to be careful. 3 wide.
Biden dies at the inside. Is there going to be enough space for all 3 of them? Torrimella's so lucky he didn't get spun around there.
How did they survive that?
Yeah, I think Filin realised that was not quite enough. As look at this, Mitchell has got the run. He's going to go all the way around the outside of Alan Axon. He really had to fight for that one, and Axon played super, super fair. So that was tough but hard defending from Alan Axon, and good driving from Mitchell to get through. He's really been him and the two Simcoes have really been the stars of today.
Kiss is past Schoenemann, sorry.
Yep, up the inside into turn 9 then, and Schoenemann, the defense finally breaks, and those softs, surely, he's running them a bit hot, as up the inside goes Nichols. Nichols up the inside of Noah Torriemella, and that's an important move for the championship.
Yes, he's made a good recovery, actually, considering the bad luck in race 2.
Yep, and look at this. Is that Peugeot using his softs to go up the inside of Phylan as well. Phylan gives him a little tap to remember him by as well for good measure. And Phylan has certainly not been shy about spinning people around in this race, to put it mildly.
The gap at the front isn't kind of, coming down that quickly, is it?
Yeah, Neuendorf has fought back. 10th quicker than Zux last time around. Now that Kiss has got through, he's still 2.6 seconds behind with 5 laps to go. I wonder if Simcoe will be thinking about a swap here as Peugeot trying to get past the other KV86, hits the back of Noah Tuomela and into the side as well. He is certainly using Destruction Derby tactics here, Stanislas, and he's cleared the 2 KV86s there. Not a huge amount of contact, but enough to force his way through.
Yeah, there was, I'd say, we need to look at it. It'll be reported, but
side by
just
side
on the right side.
Is Phylan going to get past Tuomela as well? Tuomela really had his run compromised here, and Phylan has swept ahead on the inside there. Going into turn 7, McCoffoven looks like a big threat here to Tuomela. So this has been a really tough race for KV86 because both of their drivers have run out of soft tyres here.
Yeah, they seem to be trying to work together, don't they, as Peugeot goes wide.
Yeah, and look at this. There's Raschke, Neuendorf, and Horvath all on the softs trying to get involved. Here's McCoffoven up the inside of Noah Tuomela. McCoffoven, not giving enough space and almost forcing Tuomela into the wall there. And that could open the door as threading the needle there is Mark Horvath on the soft tyres who passes Tuomela.
Tuomela did the right thing there. When he was being pushed towards the wall, we didn't keep the throttle in and spin out McCoffoven, which is what we like to see. Now, if he reports McCoffoven for pushing him off the track, he'll actually have a case.
Well, I mean, I would also say Tuomela very nearly did the same thing himself to Gray in the opening couple of laps of the race as well. As we see, Jack Nicole sits the fastest middle sector of the race, 26.3, 3/10 quicker than Neuendorf on softs in the lead. So that is impressive. As we see, all squabbling over 8th position here. As Peugeot is on the softs, holding off Phylan, McCoffoven. Horvath here in 11th has just got through, and Tuomela now wants to go up Tony McCoffoven. So these two need to be careful here. Horvath has got way better soft tyres at this phase as we are going into the closing stages here. Schumann is setting personal best, but he's still in the 142s. Mitchell might catch him before the end, and that 4th place could be absolutely crucial to keep Luke Mitchell ahead of the Simcoe drivers in the Drivers' Championship.
3 laps to go, so Mitchell 3 seconds behind. He's got to do a second a lap. Nicole right on the back of Axon.
Here we go. Alan Axon leaves the door open into turn 9, side by side with Jack Nichols then, who is climbing up the grid. He's gone from, I think, 10th to 7th, and he's now battling for 6th. But again, Axon, just like Luke Mitchell discovered, is a tough customer.
Oh, Nichols was last at the start of the race too, after that massive crash.
Oh, he was, yeah. He was like 17th, wasn't he? So he's gained about 10 places. Look at this, McCoffoven, mistake there from Phylan, who goes wide into the chicane. And this, but he goes completely off track, does McCoffoven, and Horvath is going to gain another place around the outside. It's going to be super close as they go into the Kumo Bocht and onto Ari Lundijk corner. Round the outside on the banking goes Horvath. He's got better speed, surely, on those soft tyres. And Horvath is up into the top 10 as Nichols is going to go the long way around on Alan Axon here. But Axon just goes up the inside. Tuomela really deep on the brakes and tags around Horvath. Oh, what a disaster there for Tuomela, and Horvath taken out through no fault of his own. As Nichols, he's going to go up the inside into the Hugenholtz corner.
Tuomela brought that on himself. Horvath was a bit of an innocent victim.
Yeah, certainly. And they're still side by side. Look at this. Axon will surely have to lift up, but he's got the inside coming towards turn 7.
Whoa.
And Nichols is kept at bay there. Really, really aggressive from Axon. And look at this now. The 77 of Peugeot is really joining the fight here, and he's flashing his lights wildly. He wants to clear Nichols quickly, and who can blame him as Nichols goes over the curb that caused him so much grief in race 2. Gets the inside for turn 9 on Axon. Forces his way through. Very, very physical, very, very brave, and Jack Nichols is up to 6th, is he? As Axon is still there on the inside. Fantastic duel between these three.
3 Ford Focuses, all 3 different teams. Axon's now got Peugeot for very close company.
Yep, here he comes to the outside. Stanislav in the Finnebond green, goes deep, uses those soft tyres well, and gets the Finnebond into 7th position there. Axon really couldn't have done much about that one, as Peugeot driving really, really well, staying out of trouble, and causing a major headache for these medium runners here. Schoenemann has finally gotten to the 141.9s, albeit 3 tenths slower than the 3 leaders in front of him. Luke Mitchell is not really catching quickly enough. It looks like even the mediums are starting to struggle here as we go into the last 2 laps. And Neuendorf, after doing so well in earlier on, or seeing his teammate Tim Neuendorf leading the race, of course, wants to make it 2 pot races in the top 10 as he hits the back of Makofov. And Bradley Sellers has set the fastest final sector down in 13th. You see him in the background there, holding off Hargitay. It's been a miserable day in the Netherlands for underbed simulation, it must be said, because I don't think any of them have done better than about 9th today. As we see Neuendorf, oh, here comes Raschke. He's got a slightly better run, but Peter Neuendorf, he's just really struggling to clear Makofov. And Makofov has defended pretty well all day, it must be said, apart from maybe his incident with Sam Newhouse early in race 1. Even then, that wasn't intentional.
I think he, that was a racing incident in he might get a penalty, but what Newhouse did afterwards kind of negated that.
Yeah, certainly. As we see, Neuendorf is about to start the final lap before too long. Gray finally is able to clear Bellafronte after taking huge damage and being hit in the back, spun around and hit in the back. Yeah, you can see that car is not steering in a straight line. So Gray is going to be a couple of places outside the points of Turimella. Even his spin, he's still in the points in 15th. Raschke trying as hard as he can to get past Neuendorf. Both of them on the soft tyres here. But it's Tim Neuendorf, brother of Peter Neuendorf, that is starting the final lap. And
might be his son, actually. Sorry.
Son, no. Tim is Peter's son.
I need to check that.
Okay, well, they're certainly related either way.
Yeah, Tim is Peter's son.
There we go. So, looks like the younger Neuendorf. Oh, as Raschke goes way too deep. Does well, actually, not to hit the back of the older Neuendorf, Peter. But Tim, who has not really put a foot wrong, was from, I think, 3rd on the grid, wasn't it? Was able to clear Adam Zux and Peter Schoenemann the lead early on, and then he's built that 2.6 second gap. And nobody's really been able to live with his pace on the soft tyres. As look at this. Peter Neuendorf under attack once again from Thomas Raschke.
He's got it.
Not quite able to get the Honda Civic around the outside into 7. Yeah, Tim Neuendorf is going to make it 5 different winners from the opening 6 races of the season then.
6 from 6 on the road.
6 from 6 on the road, yes, if you want to get technical, as Peter Schumann, I'm sure, is definitely going to insist we do. Look at Filin. Oh, Filin is really not in a great row here. And he could have a couple of penalties coming his way as well as he struggles behind Axon. But here comes Tim Neuendorf. He has ran away with this one, and it's going to be Pot Racers' first win of the season. Their first race win since Alton Park last year. Purple middle sector as well for Tim Neuendorf. He's going for the fastest lap for that extra point. Could we have a 6th contender in our Drivers' Championship? Towards the line comes Tim Neuendorf to win here at the Netherlands. And is that a home win, I believe, for the Dutch team?
They're German.
German, okay. Well, it's close enough. Simco recover to 2nd and 3rd, and that means they are going to come home in the lead of the team's championship as Peter Schliemann blows up. Look, the orange car has gone well and truly orange on home ground in 4th position. Luke Mitchell and Jack Nichols make it 5th and 6th to limit the damage for Kings Racing. Stanislas Bajald, excellent drive to 7th to beat Alan Axon. Lucas Filin is 9th. Tony McCough rounds out the top 10 ahead of Neuendorf and Raschke. As we see Hargitay cross the line in 14th, the only Hunter Birch to finish in the points. And it's really a case of what could have been there, as KV86 did not really treat them particularly nicely. And I believe as looks like Peter's car just remembered that it was a replay and stopped expiring there. Look at the start there, up the inside from, that was Zux. Tried to get the move on Neuendorf, didn't he? Neuendorf just stuck it around the outside. And this is Nichols. Oh, definitely almost spinning around Thomas Raschke there. as there just wasn't really enough space for both of them. And to be fair, Jack didn't take the position there, so he might get away with that one. He has another move, aggressive dive into turn 3. And this time he does get through. And this is what fell. Oh, Perez, just went a little bit too wide, and the rear right was absolutely knackered in that collision there. So Perez sort of went off completely on his own. This is Hargitay, being spun around by, that must have been Filin there. So Filin is very much ruined 2 of the Thunderbird simulation drivers races, hasn't he? Yeah, not really enough space for my money given by Filin. Oh, he makes a bit of contact with Luca Gray as well for good measure. And there we go. So frustrating to watch, and so nearly avoided. It was Peter Nuendorf that hit the back of the stranded Luca Gray, wasn't it? As you saw, there was not really anything Luca could have done to avoid that one there. And big, heavy contact with the wall as well. That's a huge, huge shame because Luca made such a great start there. And then there was a huge moment there where Rashke and Sellers just get into brute blows as well. And this is the Sam Newhouse-Sellers collision. Seems like it's all my drivers involved in these, which is a shame. And this is the Tuomela kamikaze dive where he just gets way too late on the brakes, and poor Mark Horvath had nowhere. He could not have done anything to avoid being slapped in the back there.
He's already apologised in the Discord.
Well, that is good to hear from Tuomela, because he is, if nothing else, a very, very honest and forthright driver.
It's bit of an inexcusable one, that one. He'll take a penalty.
I think that's unavoidable. And, is there Horvath pulling off? Was there really heavy damage to that car as well? So Mark Horvath not getting to the end, and that's a real shame for wasn't he the champion of was it season 2 of EERC Formula E back in the day? It's a shame we don't do EERC Formula E anymore.
You're really testing my brain there.
He was definitely one of the champions in the earlier seasons of EERC Formula E.
No, I don't think he was.
Oh no, he might have just lost it in the final round.
Oh, that was who was that?
It was somebody. It was one of the Finnevon drivers. I can't remember.
It was Pascal.
It might have been Pascal. It was
Maybe.
a long time ago. So. But, nobody. He's been around a while. He's a good driver, and it was a shame that happened to him. Is the point I'm leading up to. But anyway, let's briefly go through the final results of race 3 before we do our interviews. Then, so Tim Nuendorf takes his first win of the season for Pot Racer to launch himself into contention for that Drivers' Championship, along with Adam Zux and Ballast Kiss, who are rarely outside of the podium places today. Peter Schumann goes from pole to 4th. It's good points for Peter, but he would have been hoping to hold on to the podium at the very least there. Luke Mitchell takes 5th, with Jack Nichols just behind him, backing him up after a brilliant drive from near the very back of the grid to just gain places on the medium tyre to make up for the disappointment of race 2. Pajode on the softs gets up to 7th ahead of Axon, who nonetheless finishes a very, very tidy, consistent trio of races, all in the top 8. Luca Filin, 9th, bit of a controversial one for him. Tony McCoffhoven rounding out the top 10 for Rookie Monsters. Pretty underrated drives from McCoffhoven today, I would say. Peter Nuendorf backs up his son by finishing in the top 11 there. Thomas Rashke, getting some good points for the Independence Championship. We haven't talked about that too much, but Rashke in a fight there with Alan Axon, who actually is running away with that one, but Rashke in a very clear second in 12th today in race 3. Bradley Sellers takes 13th for Rookie Monsters. And if you thought Rookie Monsters had a bad day, look at Hunter Birch Simulation with Hargitay only getting a couple of points for 14th. Tuomela, his faux pas, making him drop to 15th. Then it's Sam Newhouse, will probably be his last appearance for Hunter Birch in 16th. Luca Gray being hit by Luca Filin, spun around down to 17th and then hit by Nuendorf into the wall. That means he finishes 17th, but does beat Donny Bellafronte at least. Then Mark Horvath and Francisco Perez both retiring early doors from the race. Mark Horvath will be especially disappointed with that. But there we go then. So we've seen so many different winners this season. And we're going back to the UK to Brands Hatch Indy layout on the 11th of December before we do our Christmas bash for the full GP circuit the following week for round 4. So that's what we've got to look forward to. But how about we reflect on a brilliant drive in all 3 races today from Luke Mitchell from Kings Racing. He wants to talk to us, so let's listen and also ask him a couple of questions. We're joined now by Kings Racing's very own Luke Mitchell and former Hunter Birch driver as well. So we know him very well. But Luke, victory in race 2, of course. Some brilliant drives to back it up. 4th in race 1, just being beaten by the soft shod Bradley Sellers. And then the final race of the day, you had a brilliant battle with Axon and damage limitation really for Kings, wasn't it? 5th and 6th. So a pretty solid day for Kings after Jack did really well at Silverstone, of course. And you've really launched yourself back into title contention then.
Yeah, it was a good day, good round for me, especially. Jack struggled in race 1, and I think it was just mainly the ballast weight that gave him some issues. But no, it was a good round. I think the Simcoe guys are really fast, and I think did they finish on a podium, like both of them every race or near enough?
Race 1 and 3, they were both on the no, one of the at least one of them was on the podium in all the races.
I'm just doing the results fast. I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah, they're just really quick, and but yeah, no, race 1 it was going quite well. I knew Brad was on the softs. I was talking to Jack, and I was like, do I let him go? Do I let him attack them? And then I was holding him back, and then I thought, oh, I'll try a send on Adam. It didn't work, and obviously that gave Brad a run anyway, but then he didn't get through, so that kind of screwed me anyway. But no, race 2 was fun. I was sort of waiting in the garage trying to look at the live timing to see who was going on softs or not. And then when I saw Adam and Ballas both go to mediums, I thought, sod it, I'll go for it. And obviously it worked quite well. Yeah, I was just sort of, and you don't even have the games loading it correctly either. But I just thought go for it, and then it worked out quite nicely. So
well, you could tell you had the grip off the line because you went 3 wide. You had made a brilliant start, didn't you? You were 3 wide with Brad, and was it Adam Zooks, wasn't it?
Yeah, I actually made a really terrible start. I just sort of braked as late as I could for race 1 to try and recover it. It's kind of a running theme that I kind of lose a position before turn 1 in kind of every series that I do. But no, it was a good round, and it was good fun in race 3 racing with Alan. He always leaves a lot of room, and it's very hard to get around. This is a hard track to overtake on anyway, but he's a very fair defender, so it's good fun.
Just listening to you praising the driving standards of Adam, and also that does that great battle with Axon, wasn't it? The new driver who played pretty fair and clean with you as well in race 3. I just got messaged one of my drivers saying, "Oh, these GPV drivers reminding me why I left that series." No prizes for guessing who that was, but anyway. Tell us a little bit about your Alan Axon battle, because he seemed like surprisingly tough to get through, because I thought both on the mediums it was like a pretty even fight, and even Jack had to really fight to get past Axon as well.
Yeah, I've raced him in another touring car series, and he is always very difficult to overtake. He's very clean, very fair. He makes his position known if he's going to defend it, so he makes it tough. But that's what you like. You want to make overtakes on people that make it difficult for you. So it's nice because you know that you're going to get that respect, so you obviously show it back. Whereas there are some others that you kind of think, I have to send it, otherwise they're unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to do.
Speaking of which, I think I probably need a new driver after this race, so I should probably send a message to Alan and see if he's up for it. But because I know you're busy with Kings, so I wouldn't want to keep you from that. But after such a strong start to the season, of course, you were leading the team's championship going out of Silverstone. Simcoe did really, really well today. How are you feeling about Brands Hatch Indy? Because, of course, you did technically win there if it weren't for, of course, under the old rules, the new rules that we just introduced, you would have won because you don't have to tell people in advance which race you're using the soft tire, whereas I kind of didn't communicate properly with you, as you remember well. Last time we went to Brands, so hopefully there won't be any repeat of that from your side, because it's a different team as well, so, I mean...
Yeah,
No way I can mess it up for you now, unless one of my drivers does something really dumb. Which,
No,
I'm sure they won't.
I think for brands, it'll be Scott and Jack flying the flag. Unfortunately, I missed both the brands rounds as I'm on holiday Wednesday to Wednesday, so I missed
already
both
scuppered.
of them. Yeah, which is a real shame because I love brands and it would have been good fun. But maybe the others miss a round later on, so it kind of comes back. But yeah, I think missing 2 rounds, and especially brands GP, the double points or something. So
Is it?
that it's a special event. Is that double points? I can't remember.
I
If
think
it's
it was
something.
just twice. It was just twice as long. That was what I remember.
Oh, okay. If it's not double points, then that's fine. But even then, missing 2 rounds is going to be difficult to try and recover anything from. Especially the Simcoe guys. I think they're going to be sort of running in the top 5 in like all 3 races every round. And then you got the KV guys who are also very fast. Maybe get involved in a few incidents, but
Yeah,
they're very, very quick. I can't knock them for that.
It wasn't a great day for KV86 today, so that is at least year limiting damage is going to make a big difference overall in the championship. Then, so I think I'm kind of running out of questions here. So I guess all we can say is congrats for winning race 2, and best of luck for the rest of this championship, because it's been a strong start for Kings, and I'm sure all the Kings fans out there will be cheering you guys on, hoping it continues. Enjoy your holiday, Luke, and thanks very much for talking to us.
Thank you very much, and good job on the broadcast as well.
No worries. Oh, that sounds like somebody dropped something in the kitchen in the background of the Mitchell household. So, but anyways, we let Luke Mitchell leave the commentary box. Nobody else wants to talk to us, so hopefully Nick is back.
Hello, sorry.
Okay, you've been running around in the background.
I had to let the dog out.
It was you that we had. I apologise for. I heard somebody drop something in the background, and it was probably you and the dog, and not Luke Mitchell at all, or anybody at the Mitchell household. So I feel bad about that now. But anyway, I'm sure Luke won't mind us just being silly and irreverent, not irrelevant. Although I'm sure most people would probably disagree with me there. So many different winners. Oh dear. Luca Gray just says the comment in the chat that says, "Why do I bother?" which I think sums up that race 3 for him pretty neatly. So I guess no need to interview him, I guess. Unfortunately, let's hope Luca does come back, because I think there's probably a bit of bad blood between him and Luca Filan after that one, and let's hope it doesn't escalate into a worse situation. But yeah, certainly under Boat Simulation, the Honda Civic was not really the strongest car at Zandvoort by a long way, because it was certainly nowhere near as quick as some of the others. But Hargitay at least got a couple of points out of it. But yeah, generally it's all about Simcoe, Kings Racing, and KV86 so far. And we talked to one of our stars today, Luke Mitchell. The other stars have got to be the Simcoes of Adam Zuxum and Ballast Kiss.
Yeah, that was a lot better than Silverstone, wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot cleaner from then. You could tell they put a lot of preparation into this event. And remember, Ballast Kiss was 5th in the championship. Adam Zux was 8th. They're certainly going to both break into the top 6, top 5 after that one.
Yeah, I think if you look at the quality at the top of the field, you got the Kings, Simcoe, Pot Racer, Axon. Who else was up there? KV86. You know, we're going to be in for quite a long championship battle, I think. But Brands Hatch is a very different circuit to Zandvoort.
Yeah, the Indy circuit is probably going to encourage a lot more contact because of its nature. So let's hope that some of the driving standards are they were certainly better than Silverstone today, but let's hope they're even better by the time we get there then. So I've been hoping somebody else would come into the interview waiting room, but it seems like we're not getting anyone. So I guess that's time to close the broadcast then. So very much joining me, Nick. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time in December for our first of our 2 races at Brands Hatch for the Indy circuit. But of course, we congratulate our winners then. Ballast Kiss, Luke Mitchell, and Tim Neuendorf as well. So another trio of new winners. Is the streak going to continue? Are we going to see even more new winners at Brands Hatch Indy? I certainly wouldn't put it past on that circuit, especially given none of my drivers have won yet. So maybe it's their turn on this crazy merry-go-round called EERC British Touring Cars.
That's one way of putting it, isn't it?
Yeah. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thanks again to Pascal on the broadcast direction. Thanks to you, Nick, for having the safety car already. We've not needed it so far, bizarrely.
It's a
This
miracle. Yeah.
season. Or maybe we've been incredibly lenient and we should have deployed it a few times just so
I might do
Luca
it
Gray
at some
had-
point. Just
so
for fun.
Luca Gray had a chance to catch up at the end there. But
I have something to do, haven't I?
yeah, anyway, so thank you very much to you finally for watching and keeping us company here in the live chat as well. We'll see you on the 11th of December at the Brands Hatch Indianapolis layout for round 3 of the championship. But it's open season. Anybody could win it in the teams and drivers championship. Bye for now.